Happy Black History Month. More on that in a moment. Good morning, everyone. I'm Jasmine Anderson. A Hicksville resident is in critical condition after escaping a raging house fire. The flames broke out yesterday afternoon here on Page Drive. Fire officials say 2 people got out of the burning, heavily cluttered home before first responders arrived. One was taken to the hospital with critical injuries. No word on what started the fire. A search right now for the gunman behind a terrifying gunpoint robbery in Nassau. Police say it happened last night at this BP gas station on Hempstead Turnpike, Franklin Square. We're told the suspect pointed a gun at the clerk, demanded money, and took off with cash from the register. No one was hurt. A new future for some farmers in Southold's Farm Belt. Cutchogue vintner Anthony Sanino just bought 13 acres of preserved land from the Peconic Land Trust. The field is part of nearly 152 acres along Oregon Road in Mattituck and Cutchogue. 2 of the 7 properties were resold to farmers, including Sanino, to help expand their businesses. Sanino says the acquisition will allow him to grow new varieties and to leave a legacy for his children.
Land preservation, most people don't realize, actually helps for agriculture to thrive in our community. If we did not preserve for the sole purpose of agriculture, then there would be more developments.
The Peconic Land Trust plans to sell 4 more properties to farms later this year. Millions of dollars is headed to Nassau County to help with flooding recovery. The federal funds are part of disaster relief declaration. Nassau saw a historic 9 inches of rain in one storm in September. As Newsday reported, the flooding forced the evacuation of a senior housing facility in Elmont. The county has requested nearly $15 million in reimbursement. 6 Long Island school districts have been awarded millions of dollars. The money is part of a $100 million state effort to expand mental health programs and fight post-pandemic learning loss. The districts are Amityville, Belmore, East Quogue, Freeport, Hempstead, and South Country. Today marks the first day of Black History Month, and some local students marked the occasion last night with a very special art show. This is the 2nd year students from the Baldwin School District got to show off their work at the African American Museum of Nassau County in Hempstead. Their works range from sculpture to poetry, all professionally curated by the museum staff.
I hope that people understand the struggles, but more that you should stand up for yourself and be confident and feel like you can do anything you put your mind to.
The students' work will be on display through the end of the month. Checking out your hyper-local forecast, cloudy today, highs around 43 degrees. Tonight, we drop down into the 30s. Tomorrow morning, showers return and highs in the 40s. And here's a look at your futurecast. We see some heavy rain coming in overnight, but it should lighten up by the afternoon and clear out by the evening Friday. A look at your 7-day forecast coming up.
Long Island weather is brought to you by Home Tax Saver, PTRC Incorporated.
There are over 100 open missing persons cases on Long Island right now. Sherry Einhorn and Tony DiStefano have the story you'll see only in Newsday.
What happens to people? They just disappear. They go into some sort of abyss, never to return.
Missing on Long Island. They are mothers and husbands, brothers and toddlers. People with lives and loved ones left struggling with so many unanswered questions.
It's important to find her.
It's been 33 years since Noreen Higuchi Brown disappeared. It was December 12th, 1990. The young mother of 2 had gone to the Pathmark near her home in New Hyde Park. Her car was discovered the next day, her 32nd birthday. She was never found, and her childhood friend says she'll never stop searching.
It's not so much now, all these years later, to find out who did it, how it happened, but to find her so that her family could put her at rest and that we could put her at rest.
On Long Island, there are 139 unsolved missing persons cases, according to a federal database and local police departments, 36 in Nassau, 103 in Suffolk.
These cases go back to as far as 1955 in Nassau County and probably well into the 60s for Suffolk.
Newsday senior law enforcement reporter Tony DiStefano has been looking into the numbers and putting faces and stories to the statistics.
To the families of people who are missing, this is something that is a continuing festering issue for them and something that just doesn't go away.
Nassau County Police told Newsday, quote, "Our missing persons unit will investigate all missing persons cases and will utilize numerous resources to locate that individual as soon as possible. At times, we will send out a silver alert, amber alert, and media notification to assist with the investigation. All cases remain open until we locate that missing person." Suffolk does not have a dedicated missing person unit, though that was a goal of former Police Commissioner Rodney Harrison. The department says it's still focused on missing persons cases and uses social media to get the word out to a larger population.
They have a Missing Monday where they feature 1 to maybe 4 missing persons cases to keep them in the view of the public.
There are also dozens of unidentified remains, according to a National Information Clearinghouse and the Suffolk Medical Examiner, 15 sets in Nassau and 24 in Suffolk.
The grim discovery of 10 sets of human remains along Gilgo Beach thrust this issue further into the spotlight. New advances in technology have helped.
But for families still waiting for answers, the hurt and the hope linger on.
One woman whose brother went missing told me that every day she sends him a text message asking where he is, in the hopes that maybe he will respond in some way.
I'm Shari Einhorn for Newsday TV.
Read more about Long Island's missing people on Newsday.com. Click Get More below the Newsday TV video box. We continue our celebration of Black History Month now. We're looking at the Long Island home of legendary jazz artist John Coltrane. It's undergoing a major restoration. Steve Langford has a story you'll see only in Newsday.
60 years ago, legendary saxophone player and jazz composer John Coltrane, his musician wife Alice, and their children moved into this home in Dix Hills. 20 years ago, longtime Dix Hills resident Steve Fulgoni learned the Coltrane home was slated for demolition.
About a week away from being demolished in 2004, and I found out about it, and thankfully, through the help of people all over the world, made it aware that that was going to potentially happen, and the town of Huntington did the right thing and stopped that demolition.
And so began the mission to save and restore the home where in 1964, Coltrane sequestered himself in this room upstairs and composed A Love Supreme, considered one of the most significant pieces of American music ever written.
It was like Moses coming down from the mountain, where John said that he finally was able to put everything he was feeling into music.
Alice Coltrane was a pianist and harpist in her own right, who had a recording studio built here in their basement.
She recorded 5 albums in the basement here before moving on to California, where she continued her musical career.
Grants from the Andrew Mellon Foundation and the town of Huntington have propelled the project forward to create an educational and cultural center worthy of the legacy of this royal couple of American music.
John and Alice's story is truly an American success story.
John Coltrane was just 40 years old when he died of liver cancer in 1967. He is buried at Pine Lawn Cemetery alongside his wife, Alice. The leaders of the Coltrane Home Project, which include the family's children, hope to have it restored and open to the public within the next couple of years, a site already designated a Town of Huntington landmark and placed on the National Trust for Historic Preservation's list of 11 most endangered historic places. Steve Langford for Newsday TV.
Read more about the Coltrane House renovation on Newsday.com. Click Get More below the Newsday TV video box. It's Friday Eve, and here's what's up on Long Island. Harbor Frost in Sag Harbor. The outdoor winter celebration highlights fire and ice. It features live ice carving demonstrations and ice sculptures along Main Street. There's also live music and fireworks. It's throughout the village on Saturday. Monster Jam is coming to Long Island. See Gravedigger, Megalodon, and other performed stunts tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday at UBS Arena at Belmont Park in Elmont. Are we in for an early spring? Groundhog Day is tomorrow. Will our groundhogs see their shadow? You can watch Malvern Mel and Holtzville Hall predict the weather in Malvern and Holtzville. It's happening at an event Friday morning. For admission info and more events, click Get More below the NewsdayTV video box on our homepage.
I bring to light issues that are happening in schools, in police departments that matter to Long Island that they didn't know about. This is a story about an issue that they needed to know the answers to.
Newsday, covering Long Island like no one else can.
I'm Jasmine Anderson. Happy Black History Month. Thank you so much for watching. We'll leave you with a look at your hyperlocal 7-day forecast.